Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Morning Tea Talk with me, Miss Ruby, here on my channel. Thank you for subscribing, for joining me. I want to jump right into this topic, okay? This video is aimed at you fellas, okay? So you decided to cheat on her. Or you decided to steal from her. You decided to manipulate her, abuse her, hurt her. At some point in your relationship, you effed up. You know you effed up. She ain't got to tell you again. You done already accepted responsibility for it at one point or another. Yet, instead of choosing that you're going to change, you're going to actually work on yourself. You're going to actually humble yourself and accept the fact that she's going to go through some things as a result of what you put her through. Instead of doing all that, you decide you're going to flip the script on her, turn things around, try to make her feel bad. F with her mind, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just here to tell you fellas that you got her twisted. You got us all twisted. As just coming together as women, you got us twisted, okay? This video is aimed at y'all, okay? I have had way too many conversations with close friends and family about way too much foolery that's going on in their relationships. I have had my own instances in my relationships in the past, in situations that I have been in, where I understand that this is really like a disease of the mind. The topic today, I don't know if you can see on the title, Juicy Kiki, is just about men and their foolery. It's about the men who done lost their whole entire minds, okay? I'm talking to the men that are in relationships right now, in marriages, in situationships, in just, you know what I'm saying, and just a variety of situations with women, and they just got them, they done lost their whole minds. I'm gonna give you guys some specific instances in a minute too, because I really wanna hone in on this topic. You guys give me like 30 seconds real quick. All right, I had to change settings because it seems like my baby was about to turn up. So, this video is going to be dropping like major subliminals, okay? And I really don't care if anybody gets offended, honestly, because what I need for these men to really understand is that a woman could really like mess your whole life up if she really wanted to. Now, I'm assuming that the women who I'm speaking on behalf of are women of God who don't want to mess your whole life up. But I just want to remind y'all that a woman could really mess your whole life up. So like I said, starting this video, it's men out there who are cheaters. It's men out there who are, like we talked about yesterday, narcissists. It's men out there who are male chauvinists. It's men out there who think that they run the world, right? Who have a real serious God complex. Now, let me say this as a disclaimer. I do understand that if you are any stretch of a good man at all, then maybe a part of you does feel like the God in your household, where you got the world on your shoulders, the weight of the world on your shoulders. You got to figure things out. You got to take care of your family. Everything falls on you, right? I think a lot of men have that in them, and in some ways that's a good thing to have. But if you have that and now you've taken it to the next level to where now you think that you can just come and go as you please, do and say what you feel, don't regard how your wife, how your significant other feels about that situation. Don't regard what it's going to do to her. Just think that she's supposed to just bend to your every need and want, and not have to worry at all about what's really going on in her head. You got us twisted, like you got her twisted. When women allow you to do that, trust me, like we're smarter than that. We allow so much to go on from our significant others because we know that you guys have strong egos. And we know that if we're trying to be good women, we're trying to humble ourselves. We're trying to submit ourselves to you. We're trying to trust you. We're trying to let you lead. But when you take that and you take advantage of that, at that point, you don't have anything else to say. So I'm talking to the men who, I'm going to give you all some instances. You're in a relationship. Everything's going good. You decide to step out and cheat. That woman who at first had your back, was completely loyal to you, loved you, supported everything you did. She finds out that you cheated, because a lot of times men are stupid and they get caught. And then everything in her world flips upside down. And she decides, I need some distance. I need a break from you. I need some time to figure things out. And instead of you giving her that, you try and manipulate her by telling her things like, well, I cheated because you don't want to have sex with me. I cheated because you don't support me in this, and that this is why I cheated. You try to give her all these reasons, or I done already apologized for that. You already forgave me, so you need to just drop it and let it go. Or maybe something even worse, like, you ain't about nothing anyways. I don't really love you. I don't care about you. I'm only with you because I don't want you to be alone. You know, whatever it is that men try to get in our heads about and basically flip it on us. You know you need me. You ain't going nowhere. When all she needs is some space to try to figure things out, you ain't about nothing. I'm letting you know, like, the men who do that, if you have a man in your life that is doing that, he ain't about nothing at all. A man should never do that. If a man does cheat on you, he should be entirely remorseful. It shouldn't be something that he's doing multiple times over and over until he gets caught. It should be something you found out he did a year ago. He stopped it. He's super apologetic about it. He's already proven his apology, because throughout this last year or these few months or whenever it was, since he's done it, he's changed everything. Not just buying you flowers and candy, which unfortunately some dumb men try to do, thinking that that's going to make up for it, but he's actually changed his character and who he is. It shouldn't be the only reason why he's addressing the situation now is because he got caught. It shouldn't be in his addressing the situation, he's not fully taking responsibility. Men who do that ain't about nothing. And then I hear stories about men who will take it to a whole nother level and put their hands on a woman because, yeah, a lot of times when you hurt us, you disrespect us, you betray us, then we hot. And so, yeah, we're probably all up in your face and cussing you out. And I'm not saying that that's the best way to deal with it. But I feel like if you've done something to betray somebody's trust in a marriage, I'm specifically in a marriage, okay, in a relationship, but especially in a marriage. Because in a marriage, we vowed to commit ourselves to one another till death do us part, for better or for worse, thick and thin. And we vow to be faithful to one another. So when you decide that you want to step out on us and you want to do that, and then we get in your face about it, and you decide that you're going to respond by putting your hands on us, you got us incredibly twisted. Like, you got me twisted. I'm just letting you know right now. It's women out there like me that'll mess your whole life up, that'll mess your whole world up, that'll take the kids, take the money, slash the tires, not really care, because y'all, you know, women are emotional, okay? That'll come up to your workplace, that'll have all your business in the streets. And the sad thing about it is I'm not saying that women should do that. I'm just saying that I feel like I've talked to too many women who are trying their darnest to hold their composure, hold everything together, and these dumb niggas is still doing the same dumb-ish. And I'm personally offended. And I try not to get into people's business too much. So on a personal one-on-one, when I talk to these women, whether it's friends, family, or just hear stories about people expressing themselves on YouTube, what I try to do is I try to just be like, you know what, I'm going to pray for you. You know, remember that you're worth, remember that God loves you first, you know, remember to keep God first at the helm of every decision that you make. And don't let that man like run you ragged, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell you what to do in your relationship, whether you decide to stay or go. But what I can tell you is that where there's a will, there's a way, either way. And keep it pushing. But right now, I'm not going to give any names in specific. I'm just giving instances of different situations and letting you know that if I were in those shoes, pray to God that I don't ever have to be in those shoes. But if I were in the shoes of the woman getting dragged like that, oh, it would be some serious consequences. One thing I have learned in this lifetime is that men learn best by consequences. Whether that means I got to actually stop saying it, but actually do it, pack my bags and leave you, pack my bags, leave you, take the kids, take you to court if that's what's necessary. Like, there will be consequences. And not really because I want to spite you, and not really because I hate you and I want to ruin your whole life, but simply because you got me twisted. And I'm not going to sit around and allow you to keep lying to me, abusing me, using me, getting all up in my head, making me feel like I'm the bad person because I have a response to your foolery. And allow that to go on for years and years and years to come. You know, I hear stories about people who have been married for years, 20 years, 30 years, and you find out, you know, the backstory to their marriage, and you find out that, you know, they have been being hurt and they have been being lied to for years, and they're not in a successful happy marriage of 20 and 30 years. They're in a marriage of settling. They're in a marriage because they decided it would be too much for me to pick up and go, for me to start all over. It would be too much, so I'm just going to learn to accept this. I'm going to learn to turn a blind eye to this. That's not the way that it's supposed to be. I'm sorry, not according to, like, if y'all believe in the same stuff that I believe in, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, the Bible does talk about wives submitting themselves to their husbands, but they also tell their husbands to honor their wives as Christ, to love their wives as Christ loved the church. Okay? Jesus Christ ain't out here cheating on us, lying to us, and stealing from us. No, he's not. Okay, so if you're not loving me the way that Christ loved the church, first and foremost, I shouldn't even be with you. Second of all, the Bible does not, God does not like divorce. He does not like divorce. But if you're cheating on me left and right, that's the one thing that he gives me permission to leave you for. And I see a lot of women who will stick around in relationships even after that. Even after they have a man who's not honoring them. Even after they have a man who is cheating on them. And when I say cheating, a lot of times that's what it is. Because a lot of times he didn't just do it once. A lot of times all he's done is learn how to cover his tracks better. And I know this for a fact because I talked to real women in real life who it happened once, and then it happened again, and then it happened again, and then it happened again. And they're still sitting back trying to figure out what to do. And then, you know, men who, like I said, try to turn it around on them. And who try to make it seem like, oh, well, you need me. What are you doing with your life? What am I doing with my life? Before I met you, I was in school. Before I met you, I had a 6-figure paying job. I was doing good. I lived in my own space. I was taking care of myself. I met you and I decided to submit myself to you. I decided to let you leave. You asked me to stay home, have your kids, take care of your house, cook your meals. You asked me to do all of this stuff and said that you'll hold it down financially. And now when you decide that you want to F up and be out there with your God complex, thinking that you can stick your thing into anybody, you know, doing whatever it is that you want to do, disregarding me and how it might make me feel, thinking you can keep it from me, I catch you because you're stupid. So now after all of this has transpired and I decide I don't really want to rock with you no more, I want to do my own thing. And yes, you still do need to pay these bills because this is the setup that we got. Or maybe I want to leave and I want to pay my own bills and I want to do my own thing. You decide to tell me I can't because I need you. Or you decide to tell me, you know, even worse, there's men out there who be like maybe the woman is the breadwinner. You can't, you know, a man that'll say something like, you can't leave me. If you leave me, I'm taking half of everything. Do you realize how twisted you got us, like fellas, when you do stuff like that? So I've worked my butt off to get everything that I have. I've been honest to you, faithful to you in this relationship. You decide to cheat on me. I get mad at you and tell you you need to bounce. And you threaten me with you can take half of everything that I've worked for after you're the one who betrayed me. So anyway, there's so many instances. You guys can share them in the comments. I'm really like upset about this just because I've had too many conversations recently. And I'm just seeing too much foolery in relationships. And I thank God it's not happening in mine right now. I hope to God it doesn't because I'm not above anybody and I do realize stuff happens. But I am seeing this too much. These men who are just not being men. And I just want to speak to that situation. So fellas, if you're watching this video and you know that you've done your girl wrong, and you know it, I don't have to tell you. Whether or not you got caught, you know. And whether or not she's caught you, she probably knows, okay? Whether or not she has brought it up to you, she probably knows. Because a lot of us, we know before we say anything. So I want to say something to you. And I just want to say, first and foremost, you got us twisted. If you think that you can just stick around, pull the wool over our eyes, tell us we ain't nothing, degrade us, hurt us, you know, trick us, fool us, and think that there's not going to be any repercussions. Second of all, I want to tell you, like, as far as positive reinforcement, I want to tell you, you can get it together. You can get help. I know a lot of times men have pride. You don't want to go get counseling. You don't want to talk to nobody else about what you should do. But I'm letting you know right now, you can, and it doesn't take anything away from you. It doesn't take anything away from you to decide, I'm going to put my family first, and I'm going to do whatever is necessary beyond buying you flowers and candy or buying you presents and telling you how much I love you and putting it down on you. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole baby boy stuff, like exactly what happened in Baby Boy. Like I'm not just gonna come, put it down, and expect everything's gonna be good. No, you can actually change your character, but a lot of times what it takes is you being willing to humble yourself. And I know a lot of y'all struggle with that. But you need to humble yourself. You need to humble yourself. Go to church. Go talk to one of your spiritual leaders. Go talk to somebody who's maintained a good marriage. And when you ask them for advice, which I know somebody in specific who has called somebody else who I know asking for advice. Hey, man, I see you have a good marriage. This is what I'm going through in my marriage. What should I do? Then he gives you the advice and you don't take it. Like, that's retarded. Don't ask for advice if you're not going to take the advice. Stay your ass home. If you know that you have a tendency to flirt with other women and then that flirtation or that flirting leads to you cheating on your wife or your girl, stay home. Don't go to the club with your boys. Don't go to Vegas on the trip. Don't let women hit you in your inbox. Like, don't DM them back. Stay off Instagram. Like, whatever it is, you can't expect to just say I'm changed and I'm not going to do it again, but you're not changing any of your activity that led to you doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I went through the same thing with my husband, he changed his activity. And I hope and pray to God that he always chooses to keep that activity changed because he knows what can lead to something. Same thing goes with me. When I did something horrible to my husband, I changed my activity. I know that I don't ever want to be even led to doing that thing again. So I'm going to change my activity. I'm going to honor you. When you're upset at me because of that, I'm going to understand. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to listen. We're going to work through this because we are each other's priority. But I feel like there's a lot of relationships and situationships where instead of people actually working through their problems, humbling themselves, honoring the other person, being honest about what it is that they did, then they just come up with creative things to say to one another to dead the situation in the moment. And it's kind of like medicine versus actual healing. It's like you just pop a pill, painkiller. You know what I'm saying? But you're not actually dealing with the thing that caused the pain to begin with. And that's what I need y'all to know. That when I said, you got us twisted, it's not going to work. We talked about dead in relationships yesterday. If you're in a relationship like this and some of this stuff is going on with you, I want to empower you women to speak up on behalf of yourselves. I'm not telling you to divorce your man. I'm not telling you to leave him today. But what I am telling you is to declare and decree what it is that you want. First and foremost, take up your issues with God, okay? Because a lot of times men who have God complexes in your life, they want to act like they're God. They can be replaced. God can replace them. They can't replace God in your life, okay? Don't lose yourself over these men. Don't go going crazy deciding, oh, I'm going to get you back by cheating on you too, because that's not really what God wants from you. I do understand sometimes that's where it goes, and I'm not trying to shame you if you've done it, because I do understand that when you're hurt, sometimes you feel like, man, I've been honest to you all these years. I've been faithful to you, having your kids, cooking your meals, and then you go and you step out on me, not just once, twice, 3 times, but a ton. You got a whole affair going on. Oh, I'm going to go get me some. I do understand that that happens. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm telling you, a lot of times, woman to woman, I know that doesn't resolve the problem. I know our hearts are still broken, and all we really want is for our men to be honest to us and to love us the way that they promised they were going to love us when we got together. So what I'm telling you is that if you're in a place right now where you're just trying to heal and overcome the situation, put God first. Seek him first and everything about him, and he will provide everything that you need. He will give you your solutions. He's already begun to give you his solutions. His solutions are in his word. They're already written, okay? You just have to humble yourself and take it to God first, you know? And that means being honest. That means letting him fight your battles. You know, sometimes we think about all of these evil, vindictive things that we're going to do to get back at men. And unfortunately, you know from experience, if you've done it, a lot of times it don't work. Yeah, it'll make him mad in the moment, but did it make him be faithful? So there's nothing that you can do that's going to force a man to be good to you. The only thing you can do is set your standards, require him to meet them, or bounce. That's the best thing you can do. And I believe even in a marriage, if I got to leave you for a minute, if I got to say, yo, I'm going to stay with moms for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I'm balling, I got enough money to go get my own place temporarily. I'm not saying I'm divorcing you. I'm not saying I'm cheating on you, but I am saying I'm leaving your presence. Because one thing that you'll learn about a man is that he wants you in his presence. Why? Because he wants to watch you. He wants to know exactly what you're doing. He can cheat on you with 15 women, but you bet not even look at another man, okay? So That's one thing we know. So I always tell my friends, and I know myself, I tell my husband this not as a threat, just like, just honesty. Like, I will leave you if I have to. Like if I feel like I need space and you're not giving me space in my own home, you're not giving me time to figure things out by you leaving, I will leave you to get the space that I need. A lot of times that's what we need as women. We need our girl time, our retreat time. We need our me time. So do whatever it is you got to do to seek God, pray about it. Leave his presence if you need to. Just because you married him and you love him doesn't mean that you have to cook every single meal every day. Doesn't mean that you have to continue to just give of yourself and he's not giving anything in return. I just don't believe in that. Like I said, if he's not loving you the way Christ loves the church, it's a problem. And if you don't know what that love looks like, you need to get in your word. Okay? The one thing that the Bible does say is it says that for wives to submit themselves to their husbands, right? So that even if he doesn't know God or doesn't follow God, it says something like that, then he'll be won over without a word by your conduct, by your chaste behavior. That means that you can pray over your husband. You can pray over your family. He can change by simply seeing your behavior. It doesn't say to cuss him out, slash his tires, threaten him, cheat on him too. It doesn't say to do any of that. What we have to do is honestly one of the hardest things for us to do, and that is to quiet ourselves, and that is to go into ourselves a lot of times, and that is to get really, really strategic, be really patient, and sometimes men don't respond well to that. They see that you're pulling back, that you're holding back, that you're humbling yourself and you're controlling yourself, and it makes them even more erratic. And that's when you really need to get away from them, because some of these niggas think that they could put their hands on you, and that's when it's like, at that point, it's just like, I'm sorry, like that, I just don't know. I just don't know what I would do. So I know I had a mouthful today, and I probably have a lot more to say about this topic if I sat down and thought about it, but some of these things just at the top of my mind, and I just feel like I really need to share it with somebody who might be in a situation where they need to hear this. So I'm going to look at y'all comments real quick. My baby's crying in the background if you ain't already heard. My man been on bullshit lately, Juicy Kiki, girl. Okay, Nikeishan Grubb, shout out to you. Thank you for being here. Collateral damage. Yep. A lot of time. Shoot. I missed another live session. I'm at work on lunch. Hey, Aisha. I'm glad you're here with us. Keep praying. Don't entertain the devil. Exactly. Realize that the devil really be trying to work on y'all. Prayer is everything, man. Yes, we are smarter than that. Some men just want to try you and see how far they can go. Don't go for that. Women take charge. If he's not willing to wait, then he's not the one. I know. 2 wrongs don't make it right. Be the better person. You're going to have to love more. Don't entertain the devil. If you don't like what it is, go on to the next best thing. Temptation is always there. It really is. Yes, she's crying. She's crying in the background. Thank you to everybody. So thank you for your comments. My baby has been crying for a long time. I know. I feel so bad. But she's okay. She just want to be held. God bless you guys. I'll see you on another Morning Tea Talk tomorrow. Deuces.